Okay, so in this video we are going to continue the virtualization video 2, and here we are going to discuss virtual router redundancy protocol. So in LAN, a host relies on a router interface to forward packets to another IP subnet. The router interface IP address is registered on each host as its default gateway. Because the great majority of OS only allows one default gateway definition per host, a potential connectivity breakdown may happen if the router that contains the defined gateway IP address or its connection to the LAN fails. It is trying to say that if the host fails, the address of the host router is given to the address of the router is given to the host. So if that router fails, then host will not be able to forward the packet. Okay, let's see forward. To address such single point of failure, what happens is we have virtual router redundancy protocol, VRRP protocol. As the figure explains, VRRP provides default gateway redundancy through a virtual IP address that is shared between two or more router interfaces. Through the exchange of VRRP hello messages, these network devices discover each other and decide which one assumes the virtual IP address for the local host, using it as the default gateway. So the selection process is defined via a pre-configured interface priority. Higher value wins. Next is virtual routing and forwarding. So in this virtual routing and forwarding, this creates multiple routing instances called VRF that can coexist in the same routing equipment. Each VRF includes a separate routing table, set of interfaces, and independent dynamic routing protocols such as OSPF and BGP. Next is your virtual switching. Virtual switch is a software abstraction where a hypervisor emulates an Ethernet switch in a software to control the VM traffic. So what is emulated means what is copied or created, or what is virtual. Ethernet switch is virtual. Ethernet switch is virtual in compared to the software to control the VM traffic. Okay, so this is the VMware interface given. What are policies are defined? Security policy, traffic shaping, and NLC teaming is defined. It is not much important. Okay, next, let's see. Some improvements over the existing VSS, like the VDS, virtual networking device, uplink connectivity. That is to deploy an explicit failover order to the connected VM and ICs using hashing over Internet port ID, MAC address or IP address, etc. So LACP protocol is used. Link aggregation control protocol. Network input output control, NIOC, protects and prioritizes traffic when there is capacity connection on the VDS uplinks. Next is traffic shaping. Defines average bandwidth, peak bandwidth and burst size. Private LANs, net flow, port mirroring. Next is your defining network virtualization. So what are the features involved in network virtualization? Link aggregation, which transforms two or more Ethernet interfaces into a single virtual port. Device context, which creates multiple virtual network devices that can be managed independently on the same switch. Multi-chassis link aggregation, which enables the aggregation of Ethernet links from one device connected to a pair of Ethernet switches. This is the maximum thing about network function virtualization, and the last thing we can see is NSX switch, which is directly connected to virtual machines from different organizations and applications, and are focused on offering data center networking services such as layer 2 connectivity, routing and firewall, among many others. Okay, so this was all about your network function virtualization. Okay. So in the next we are going to see some next topic.